Hello everyone, welcome to a new episode of Sport Talk. I am your host Evan, and today I am joined by Zach and Johnny. And today we have a lot of good topics to discuss, including the NFL Divisional games recap, if Aaron Rodgers will potentially leave the Green Bay Packers, is Tom Brady retiring, and NFL Championship Weekend predictions. But before we start, make sure to follow us on YouTube at Sport Talk and Instagram and TikTok at Sport.Talk Podcast. And we'll just jump right into it with our first topic, the NFL Divisional Recap. So this was probably the best weekend of football playoff football that I have seen in my lifetime. There were so many great games. All of them went down to the wire, really. 3 of them ended in game-winning field goals, all from the away teams. And it was just a spectacular week of football, and I could not have asked more out of the NFL Divisional Weekend. So we'll start with the first game, which was the Bengals and Titans. And Zach, we'll start with you. What was your thoughts on that game?
I thought it was a great game. I thought there's no way that the other games would top that, and every single one did.
I know.
It was like a progression the whole time, just getting better and better and better. Yeah.
Great games for
yes,
sure.
Sir.
Yeah. And the part that impressed me the most with all of them is just the fact that the walk-off field goals for all 3 of them were all 3 underdogs.
Yeah.
All 3 of them were.
Exactly. Like, every kicker had ice in his veins.
Yeah.
And even, Evan McPherson, that dude is a dog.
He is. He told Joe Burrow that looks like we're going to the AFC Championship when he walked out. Brandon Allen, yeah.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, though.
Yeah, he's a stud.
That's why you draft a kicker, though. I mean,
yes,
he would have probably gone to, team with, good weather or something.
He would have went undrafted, probably. I mean, most of the time you don't draft kickers.
Yeah, he would have gone undrafted, and then he would have gone to, someplace with nice weather. He's a Florida guy or South guy, so he could have gone to the Dolphins or something like that.
I think when the Bengals drafted him in the first place, I was watching the draft, and they took a kicker in the 5th round, and I'm just thinking, why are they taking a kicker in the 5th round? Offensive line is their, biggest need, especially with them taking a receiver first round. But it worked out very well for them. Yeah, I was they got a stud kicker,
I was do they not trust whoever they have now, at all? But it was
Randy Bolton.
Really, Randy Bolton and that other guy.
Yeah. But no, I think they got a position of need. The kicker was a need. So and it worked out very well.
It's been paying off. He hit 5, right?
Yeah,
something like that.
I think the playoff record for most field goals made in a playoff game set by Adam Vinatieri, and he said he wants to try to break that this season. So I think he's well on his way to potentially breaking it.
Do you know what the single game record is for most?
I'm not sure. I can look it up, but
probably something ridiculous, and it's probably owned by Vinatieri.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I was just gonna say because if he goes out and sets the record for the most field goals made in the playoffs, that's not necessarily a good thing for the offense, though.
Right, but that means they're still winning games, though.
Maybe. I'm just saying it's going to take a lot more than field goals to beat the Chiefs.
That's true.
I mean, I said this at the first Chiefs game, and I said, field goals aren't going to help the Bengals beat the Chiefs, unless it's a game winner, unless it's there's not a lot of there's 5 seconds left, so it's a game winner, walk-off field goal. I mean, that's what happened,
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I mean, against the Chiefs, I think in order for the Bengals to keep up with them, it's going to have to be a shootout.
Yeah.
I mean, they got to score points.
So the most field goals ever in a playoff game was Chris Boswell with 6 in 2017 against the Chiefs. And Evan McPherson sits at 13 with his game, and against the Titans, he hit 4.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think watching that Bengals-Titans game, I was very, very nervous going into it and while watching it. Obviously, it was a lower scoring game than most people probably expected. The Bengals had been, they had been hot and they'd been scoring a lot, so only letting them score 19 points was, I would say, a win for the Titans defense. They also got 9 sacks on Joe Burrow, which was almost a record, which is what's very concerning to me, and I'm sure to both of you. But that was, and then they ended up losing. You get 9 sacks and you lose. I mean, and the reason they lost, I believe, is Ryan Tannehill. I mean, 3 picks, He gave the Bengals life 3 different times. They had all the momentum. He throws
Their
a
defense,
screen and then they pick it off and then
their defense really played a good game.
Oh, their defense played a good game. They were bullying the line.
I mean, both defenses played well. I mean, it was that low scoring in the game. It's a defensive game.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Both defensive lines were dominating the other offensive line, so it just came down to what quarterback was going to make better throws and get his receivers open. And Tannehill ended up throwing 3 picks, and then Burrow, I don't think he threw any.
He threw one, but it wasn't his fault.
Yeah.
It went through the hands of P. Ryan.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So,
he threw.
Yeah, but no, I think you're right though. I mean, that game really just came down to which quarterback's going to play better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It came down to.
Well, it almost came down to which offensive line's going to play better.
Yeah.
I mean,
it really came down to who had the better passing attack, and it ended up being the Bengals.
Well, obviously.
Well, yeah, no.
I will say though is that
most running games got shut down.
A.J. Brown,
he's a guy. He
had
guy.
5 receptions for 142 yards and a touchdown.
But see, the thing that didn't really, I didn't really care about that because it didn't really have an outcome in the game.
Yeah,
he had a butt ton of yards, a butt ton of catches, but he only scored 1 touchdown.
I'm pretty sure that.
it didn't really affect the game
because they kept falling back on the run game, which that was being shut down by Cincy's defensive line,
which I was honestly surprised about.
I know. Yeah, Derrick Henry didn't have
Derrick Henry coming back, and the Bengals really held them in check.
I
was really surprised.
He had 20 carries for 62 yards and 1 touchdown. So his average yards per carry were 3. So for Derrick Henry, that is not great.
No, I'm very, very impressed with the Bengals. The Bengals defense, I've been very impressed with their defense.
Yeah, they've stepped it up in the playoffs.
Really
and these last probably I'd say 4 or 5 weeks, they've been.
Now I will say
good.
their offense throughout the playoffs, their offense has been iffy.
Yeah.
Against the Raiders, they scored 26. That's a pretty good amount of
points.
But
a lot of field
it's
goals.
Still just been, I really think against the Raiders, they just weren't aggressive enough.
Yeah.
And the Titans,
they were a little bit more aggressive, but Burrow had like a second of time to make decisions.
Burrow had like less than a second to throw, and all the field goals they took were from a distance out. So, it was a smart decision to kick that.
Yeah.
Right.
I think against the Raiders, they were in the red zone still kicking field goals. Yeah. That is what I'm saying. It wasn't aggressive enough.
Yeah. Okay, so the thing it came down to was defense wins championships. You're seeing that with the Cincinnati Bengals. The Raiders game-winning pick. Mm-hmm. This last game, the Bengals would not. They
basically
game-winning pick. They would not have won if Eli Apple wouldn't have tipped it up to Logan Wilson and he made the pick.
Yeah.
It's the defense is winning us games and giving us great opportunities to score.
Yeah. Their defense has definitely been winning them the playoff. Yeah. Like I said, against the Raiders, they scored a good amount of points.
Yeah.
So, I think that was more of a complete game. Titans, it was all defense. Their offensive line just couldn't do anything.
No, they were getting absolutely bullied.
No, their offense. That was probably the worst offensive line performance I've ever seen in my life.
No,
I've never seen anything as bad as that.
Yeah.
That was a pitiful offensive line performance.
I've never seen anybody get sacked 9 times and still win a game,
exactly.
much less against the number 1 seed in the playoffs
at their place.
Yeah, away. Yeah. That is just ridiculous. That just shows that Joey Burrow got ice in his veins.
Yes.
And that he does not care if he's getting hit like crazy. No. He's still going to sit in the pocket and make a good pass.
No, Joe Burrow's a special player. He doesn't care how much he gets hit. He's a tough dude.
He's not scared of getting injured.
Player.
He's not scared of getting. He doesn't seem like he's scared of getting injured, even though he already got like his ACL and meniscus torn.
Sacked 9 times in a game. Stands tall in the pocket, throws a strike to set up the game-winning field.
Exactly.
He's a special
was that
player.
on out or?
It was a corner route.
Yeah, corner route to Jamar Chase.
And he's quoted on saying that in the Raiders game, he was thinking about, okay, I want them to score so that I can get the ball back and go down the field and win. Yeah. He is a special player.
He is.
Yeah. Nobody has that mentality but him in the NFL right now. Him and Brady.
Tom Brady.
Yeah. Him and Brady.
I think that Joe Burrow is the closest player in the NFL to Tom Brady.
I would agree.
Mentality-wise.
Mentally, not phically.
Physically, if we're talking physically, the best quarterback in the NFL is probably Mahomes or Rodgers.
Correct.
But it's a lot more than physical. There's a lot more than just that.
Correct. Like, that's why Cam Newton didn't succeed in the NFL.
I know.
He had all the physical ability, but not the mental ability.
And if you look at what quarterback has been the most successful quarterback in NFL history, who's won the most games, the most Super Bowls? Tom Brady. What does he have? Mentality. His physical is not great.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got a good arm. He's accurate. He makes good decisions. But I'm telling you, him winning 7 Super Bowls is his mentality.
Well, him and Manning, because Manning did have a cannon though, but
Brady's got a cannon too, but it's not a special. It's not a Mahomes cannon.
Right? No, but the thing is, they understood the game like nobody else. Calm in the pocket.
Yes.
Sat there and then threw dimes to people.
And that's what that is how I'm comparing Burrow to Brady. I think Burrow has what Brady has.
They're the 2 best game managers in the league.
If who was it? Rex Ryan, I think, said if you want to see the next Tom Brady, you're seeing him. You're talking about Joe Burrow. I don't think that's far off.
No. Well, and even
maybe not Super Bowl wins wise. I mean, it'd be nice, but maybe not Super Bowl win wise. But I think just player in general, he's not far off.
Well, even the craziest story I think of the game is Joe Burrow's headset went down.
I was just about to talk
about that.
calling
plays.
And he just started calling plays based off what the defense
and they worked.
Exactly.
They worked every time.
Exactly.
Every single one.
Name a young quarterback that would be able to do that in an NFL style
He's
offense.
literally basically in his first full season in the NFL.
Yeah, and he's playing like he's been there for 7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if he's dumb enough. He doesn't realize how special what he is.
He knows it's special.
I know.
He knows he's special.
I know,
but
he's just got that he's just got that humble type of swagger.
I think
he doesn't go out talking about how great he is, but he shows it. You know,
I feel like he's it is mine. He's one of the cockiest people ever, but he's not gonna talk smack. Yeah. He's just doing it to prove points.
He talks smack with how he plays. He's quiet.
Yeah,
he's quiet.
That's what I'm pretty sure that was what Joe Mixon said. He's like, Joe outside of football is very quiet.
Yeah,
he's not.
No, Joe Burrow is a very special player.
Yeah,
I think the Bengals having that epic failure of a season worked out very well for him in the long run because 100%. Now they have. I mean, Joe Burrow is probably one of the most special quarterbacks I've ever seen. And how they
yes.
You know.
I think that the Bengals are the most swaggiest team in the NFL.
They really are now.
Because you have Joe Burrow.
They went from being one of the worst teams in the league to now everybody loves them because of Burrow and Mixon and Shea. I mean, they got that. It's like you said, they're the swaggiest team in the league.
Exactly.
They're the most fun team to watch because at any moment, any of their star players can pop off.
Yeah. Literally any game, any moment, they can explode offensively. And they have a better defense than most teams that can do that.
Oh yeah, no.
If you look at other teams that have that ability, the Chiefs at any moment can explode. Bills explode. Well, okay, the Bills probably have better defense, but Chiefs and Bills can explode. Chargers can explode. The Bengals can explode. The Bengals have the best defense out of all of those teams except for the Bills. Yeah, I would say.
Correct.
Yeah, I think. If you look at Joe Burrow, he has a billion nicknames, and they're all super cool.
Joe
Shiesty, Joe Cool, Joe Burr. Everything is just
Joe Burr, Joe
Shiesty.
I think Joe Cool, honestly, is a great description of how he is in these games. He doesn't get rattled. Yeah. He doesn't care.
If you look at, and it's funny because that's kind of what I'm pretty sure that's what they called Montana. Yeah, or Cool Joe.
I think
Joe
Cool. Cool.
But the thing,
the
thing is, Joe Burrow. If you watch film. He has that same calmness that Montana
does.
Yeah. I think the best
it's a special type of thing.
I think the best comparison isn't to Brady, it's to Joe Montana because they have the same aura about them.
I'm just comparing him to Brady mentality.
Right,
drive.
But no, I do like that. That comparison.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think one of the only other quarterbacks in the league that really stand out to me as just having that sort of obviously, Brady and Rodgers have that calm to them in tight situations. But did you see Mahomes against the Bills?
Yeah.
That guy does not get rattled at all.
Yeah, they measured his heart rate throughout the whole game. In the last 13 seconds when he stepped on the field for that final drive, it was the lowest it had been the entire game. He was completely calm.
That's ridiculous.
I think it was at 200 or something, which is really high. But
and then it went down to 70.
Really, it went that low.
It went down. It went to rest level. I thought
he was at 200, and then it went down to 100.
I don't know the exactly, but I've
heard
it dropped down low.
Either way, it shows that he doesn't get rattled. You can literally see he doesn't get rattled because his heart rate was not pounding.
I also think that a reason why the Bengals are doing so well is because they just have the most confidence that every time they step on the field they're going to win. Literally, even down to the special teams, the freaking kicker is probably the second most confident player on that team. I would say
their kicker literally is talking smack pretty much. Like,
I know
he's
their kicker.
Like, look at any kicker ever. They don't say stuff like that.
No,
but like
not even the greatest.
Like
ones.
not like you would never see Vinatieri
Their kicker is cold.
do that exactly. But
It's
when
awesome.
but when you see like a guy with that much confidence, it's like, oh, I gotta back it up now. He's not worrying about like backing it up. He's just, I'm just gonna make it.
He's just going out and doing his thing.
He's just like, I'm going to make it.
He's good at what he does, and he just goes out and does it. It doesn't matter what the moment.
I think
is.
that's credit to Zach Taylor too, because he's probably instilled that to them,
Everybody-
and obviously they have a great team.
Yeah,
and like
everybody
Joe
was
Burrow
hating on Zach Taylor.
Yeah.
You know, which I understand. I mean, he went 2-14, and then what, 4-12.
Yeah, 4-12. Yeah, 4-12. 16 games.
Yeah, I mean, so I understand. There was rumors about going into this season that he's coaching for his job this year, which I understand. But I think you got to give him time.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
look what he came into. The Bengals were the laughing stock of the league when he got there.
Look at a team.
And look what he's done in 3 years.
Exactly.
They're playing for a Super Bowl. I mean, they're contending for us to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's been a consistent culture of losing since pretty much 1991.
And him and Joe Burrow came in and turned that around in 2 years.
Well, Zach Taylor started getting people in there in the locker room that are winners and have that like special mentality, like Joe Burrow. CJ Uzama's kind of like that too.
CJ Uzama is
He's one of the big leaders on that.
He's
team.
one of the big leaders because he has that mentality too of like, I don't care what like the past Bengals did. Like, this is our team.
Yeah, that's what Joe Burrow was saying. It was like, when they were talking to him about ending the playoff streak, and he was like, I don't really care. We're playing now.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm looking to next week.
Like, yeah, he was like, he's like, literally none of us in the locker room have talked about ending the streak. We don't care. We're playing now.
Yeah.
And that's what the Bengals have needed.
Yeah, it's like we need like the Bengals. The worst thing they could do is look back on the past and be like, "Oh yeah, we won a playoff game." It's like Joe Burrow and the Bengals do not care about that. They're like, "I'm just going to win enough." Oh, it's about the next. It's always about the next game. It's not about, "Oh yeah, look at us. We like just beat the Raiders." Really, nobody's going to remember that except like a couple like Bengals fans.
You're only going to remember if you win a Super Bowl.
Exactly.
And that's the ultimate goal here.
Like,
I think that even if they don't win a Super Bowl this year, I think everybody will remember this run.
Everybody will remember.
But no, I know what you mean.
This season was like the turnaround year. Like the Bengals finally turned to the corner. They've got the young guys. They are turning the corner. I mean, they need to get a line.
Yeah.
But besides that, they've got what they need. And this is the first year that they have turned the page. Like this is a new Bengals team.
But
what I'm saying is, 50 years down the road, nobody's going to remember that.
Exactly.
You will only be remembered if you win a Super Bowl. You will you sketch your name into history if you win a Super Bowl, not by going to the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll give you an example. Name teams that made the divisional round in 2012. You could exactly. Like,
I know.
If your team made it, you remember that. But if it's not your team, it doesn't matter.
Everybody remembers a Super Bowl champion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like earlier today,
we were talking about the Super Bowl.
We literally went through like 20 years of Super Bowl champions going off of memory.
Yeah.
Like
people remember you if you win the Super Bowl. That is the big dance.
Yeah,
100%.
we remembered all
And
the winners.
that is their ultimate goal. That's what they're looking for. Now they aren't looking past things, taking it week by week. It's each week you have to win each week to get where you want to go.
Exactly.
So it's smaller goals, but the ultimate goal is the Super Bowl.
This week they're looking at the AFC Championship. They're not looking about winning a Super Bowl, not necessarily.
Because if you overlook, if you start the second you start thinking about the Super Bowl, the Chiefs are going to destroy you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
you see, that's what happened to the Cowboys. They're like, "Oh, this is our year. We're going to win the Super Bowl." Basically,
Niners.
Exactly. Niners first round out.
Yep. Yeah. No, I think the Bengals are really special. They've got something building there.
Yeah, I think that was the perfect game to open up this weekend or this past weekend.
Great game.
And then the second game of that Saturday night was probably the most surprising outcome in my eyes was the Niners-Packers game. The Niners ended up winning 13-10, and it was really like the Packers just didn't show up, I feel like. But what's crazy to me is the 49ers are winning all these games due to their defense and like in spite of their offense. Like their offense, like they scored 13 points. And if you look, Jimmy Garoppolo, he hasn't thrown a touchdown all playoffs, which is crazy. And he's winning games.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that's working out, but
It's their defense, dude.
yeah,
It's the old saying: defense wins championships.
But hey, Their special teams won them. The 49ers special teams won them the game.
Yeah.
It wasn't their defense. It wasn't their defense obviously played great, holding the Packers.
They held Aaron Rodgers to only 13, 10 points, right?
Yeah, but the special teams literally won them the game.
Yeah, that's what
their special teams was the only part of that team that scored.
Yeah.
I mean, they kick a field goal, but I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, their special teams won. It's been special teams and defense for them, man. Their offense is nothing special at all.
They were winning
outside of Kittle and Samuel. Their offense is nothing.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, like if you look at it, like they're winning in spite of Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah,
which is insane.
Yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo is not the guy. You know what I mean? He's like he can make a pass every once in a while.
Yeah.
Like he made a good pass to set them up for a field goal.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, like he hasn't thrown a touchdown pass the whole playoffs.
Yeah.
Like. How and they're in the freaking NFC Championship. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, their defense is playing really well, man.
I know, which I'm surprised because like when coming into like the playoffs, I wasn't like super high on the 49ers. They had just come off like a big win against the
really
Rams,
wasn't either.
But I didn't think that they had this insane like top defense and they were just gonna like destroy everybody. But
I don't think anybody had faith in the Niners.
No,
probably not even Niners fans.
Yeah. No, I will say I picked the Niners against the Cowboys. I picked that, but that was the end of the road for them. Yeah. Obviously, I
thought the Packers were going to go all the way.
I thought the Packers had. I don't know. Honestly, I thought the only team that stood in the way of the Packers was the Bucks.
Yeah,
I mean, I was wrong.
Yeah, my Super Bowl prediction was the Packers versus the Bills.
Yeah.
And I am very wrong on that.
Yeah, that's not right.
Yeah.
No, I think it's just. I mean, the Packers, like you said, they didn't show up.
Yeah.
There's no reason they should have lost to the 49ers. I'm sorry, 49ers are good. There's no reason.
You're playing at Limbo.
Absolutely,
and they had
no
everybody healthy except David Bakhtiari.
David Bakhtiari.
Yeah. He wasn't. He was a.
But still, there's literally no excuse for the Packers to lose that game.
Exactly. I
mean,
know.
if you think about their offense, they have Devontae Adams to throw to, and they have a great run game with A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
But the thing you saw with Aaron Rodgers is that he only wanted to throw to Devontae Adams. You look at the other routes, they are open, but all he's looking at is Devontae.
There was one where Devontae, I think he was in double coverage, and Lazard was going up the seam, and he had a step or two on the guy, and he didn't even look his way. He just threw the ball down.
He doesn't trust anybody but.
I mean, I really don't blame him, but at that point, like, you kind of have to.
I'm not gonna blame this on Aaron. I'm not gonna blame this loss on Aaron Rodgers, though. I mean, Aaron Rodgers has consistently had MVP level seasons and got them to the playoffs. It's not his. I don't think it's his fault. They can't. I mean, their defense.
Right.
I mean, they just didn't show up.
Yeah.
They didn't show up. I mean, that was a heavy defensive game, so I can't even say their defense lost in the game. They shouldn't have lost that game.
They did not look like the same Packers team we saw all year.
No,
they didn't.
Like they look like they did nothing with their week off.
They didn't show up.
They literally look like they just sat on the couch and got fat or something. I don't know.
Yeah, because when we were talking about like our predictions for this upcoming game, you mentioned that the Titans might be slow because they have that week off and stuff, and I think that's what happened to the Packers.
That's what
they were just exactly like that situation happened to the Packers. They just came out slow and they couldn't recover.
Yeah,
and I mean they're like you were saying how like the 49ers special teams won them the game. I agree with that. But the Packers special teams, they had multiple good plays too. They blocked a punt. They got him in range multiple times, and the offense just couldn't do anything with it. And that brought a question to me. Like, obviously, like we were saying, Rodgers has had basically 2 back-to-back MVP seasons, and he's been top quarterback for the rest of those seasons. And other than really when he won the Super Bowl in 2011, I mean, he's went to multiple NFC championships, hasn't gone over the hump. And I don't know if is he like really he's a winner, but these last couple years it's kind of been questionable because he gets his team to the NFC championship, but he can't get over that hump.
I know.
And he has good teams. Like he has 3 of the best weapons. He has a good line, solid defense, but something happens like in the playoffs
he's only got over that hump one time.
Exactly. And he's this like great quarterback. People are saying he's better than Brady, all this stuff, but he's only really
it's mentality. And
I I don't know.
He's got the dude's got a mental block or something where like he like I think he like looks into the statistics of that too much. You know what I mean? Where like, oh, I keep losing in the playoffs, like, and I think that's like going around in his head, and I think it's affecting his play. Yeah. I genuinely think it's affecting his play. All the things that things that the media are saying about him. Like, it's affecting...
That's why you got to tone that out.
Exactly. Yeah. But, the thing is, he hasn't been able to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Obviously.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, Packers fans. I'm sorry, Brady haters. But I just don't understand how you can put him over Brady.
You can't. Not after this game, you can't.
Aaron Rodgers, like you said, I mean, I love him. He's a great quarterback. He's one of the best ever. But he can't get over that hump. He's won one Super Bowl. Brady has won 7.
Yeah.
I mean,
Brady's had significantly less weapons than Aaron Rodgers has. In the last couple.
I mean, Brady has had lights out defenses. I'll give you that. Brady has had very good weapons. I'll give you that. But
he's brought bad teams to the Super Bowl.
He's won 7 Super Bowls.
I think the thing that makes
Aaron Rodgers, like you said, he can't get over that hump. So, I mean, I love Aaron Rodgers. He's a great quarterback. He's definitely a top 10 all time.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm sorry.
I put him top 5.
I would, too, almost. Mm-hmm. I would. I'm just saying that, I'm sorry. I can't put him over Brady. I don't see an argument for that. I can't do it.
Yeah, it's
the man's won 7 Super Bowls.
The man's won 7 Super Bowls with bad teams. He's
had really good teams.
He's had really good teams.
So was Adams.
Okay.
I mean,
no.
Rodgers. So was Rodgers.
No. What I'm saying is he's had teams the year they beat the Rams. Mm-hmm. Really, who do they have? They pretty much had.
I will give you that year.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He won them a Super Bowl.
Now they had a good defense.
They did have a
good
defense, but on offense, they
right. But the thing is, their only offensive.
Wasn't there running back like Rex Burkhead?
I think they had. Did they have Sony Michel?
Sony Michel was their running back. Okay. I just thought of this. The 49ers kind of remind me of that Patriots team. They have a good defense. Now, granted, Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm not saying Jimmy Garoppolo is Brady,
the quarterback,
but not at all. But they're winning, even though their offense isn't producing a whole lot.
Hey, I'm just saying, I would almost venture to say this year's Niners have a better offense than that year's Patriots.
Yeah, I mean,
Debo Samuel and George Kittle.
It's just the quarterback plays.
They have better. I think they have better weapons because
they have better offensive weapons.
Exactly, because all they had really was Julian Edelman. It's like
they had Edelman and Brady. That's it.
Yep. Hey, Edelman, just run a 10-yard out. They literally ran a 10-yard out with him literally 20 times. And the thing about that game is that they ran the same play on one of their game-winning drives for a field goal. They ran the same play 4 times in a row, and the literal exact same play, and just hit four different options on it, and it worked. And that's pretty much what won them the game.
I think one thing that sets Brady apart from Rodgers is when you're in the playoffs, obviously the stakes are higher, and you have to play. You have to play up to those stakes, and Brady has done that multiple times. And Rodgers, when he gets into there, like I said, he can't get over that hump. But the stakes and I was listening to somebody, they were talking about Ryan Tannehill, and because he was very disappointing in this last game. They're saying once you get in the playoffs, the play increases, and if you don't increase with everybody else, you're not going to win, and you're going to struggle. Your regular season play is fine in the regular season, but once you get to the playoffs, it's a second level that you need to reach.
It's a whole new season when you're
exactly. And I mean, Aaron Rodgers obviously has reached that a couple times, but I don't think he's reached it enough as everyone thinks he should.
I'm not gonna say too much about it. Okay, he's won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he's a heck of a quarterback.
He's got to the NFC Conference Championship several times, but like you said, he can't win that game. He's won it once,
which is unfortunate for him.
It is. I think he is a top 5 quarterback. Yeah. I'm just saying that. I'm not saying that the Rodgers better than Brady arguments are absurd, but to me,
they're a little absurd.
I mean, to me, they're a little bit out there.
Yeah. Well, no, I
mean, the man's won 7 Super Bowls.
Aaron Rodgers kind of reminds me of Dan Marino. He won a Super Bowl, but after he won a Super Bowl. But the thing is, after that, he had great seasons. He was a very good player, but he didn't win another one.
Exactly. That
people remember him, but the thing is, it's he kept choking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I'm still putting Rodgers top 5 though.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's not. Like, I'm not saying Dan Marino's a bad quarterback because of that.
Oh, I know.
He's one of the best of all time.
I know what you're saying. I'm just saying that Brady is cemented himself as the best quarterback of all time.
There's nobody.
Rodgers is in the 5. He's in the top 5.
Yeah, it's like Brady, number 2,
Yes.
and then everyone else.
Yeah.
I think, like you said, I think Brady is like way up here, and then like the next like 4 of the top 5 are like down here, but they're close.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Look at John with all of the good comparisons,
The
old timers, spot on today.
Yeah.
I'm just one of those guys that just likes watching old film when I get bored.
Yeah,
I watched the Bengals versus like in the AFC Championship in like 1989 or whatever, 88 when I got bored.
I do that with basketball more, but
yeah.
So yeah, that was another obviously great game. Ended in a game-winning field goal by Robbie Gould, and that also happened in this next game, which was the Rams and Bucks, which was it was an interesting one to say the least.
Spectacular game.
It was. So going into halftime, the Rams were up 20-3, and we're like, oh, this game's over. And then, but in the back of everyone's mind, that flashback to the Falcons. Patriots Super Bowl came back and they're like, can Brady do it again?
It was a 1
and
point.
Dang it, he almost did.
I know.
It was only a 1 point difference. It was 28-3 and then 27-3 with his last game.
Yeah, I knew going into halftime of that game, I was like, man, the Rams really showed up.
They looked good in the first half.
They looked very good, and I thought, I think, the Rams are playing really well right now. But I sure as heck didn't say anything against Tom Brady.
Yeah, we know better. We know better now.
The last time a similar game like that happened was the Falcons. I was sitting there, I was watching the game, and I was like, holy crap, dude. Like, the Falcons are winning this game. There's no possible way the Patriots can do this. And
Tom
Brady did.
Yeah,
he won the game. So I sure as heck wasn't saying anything. I knew. I was sitting there and I was like, Brady's going to do something. Like the Bucks very well could win this football.
Never count him out.
Well, and also if Cam Akers doesn't fumble right before halftime, it could have been 30. It could have been 30-something-3. And I still think with Brady's mentality, he would have caught up and tied it.
Yes, if Cam Akers would have scored that touchdown and it would have been 30-something-3, I still would have thought the same thing.
I swear. I think
I
Tom
still
Brady.
Thought Brady's going to do this.
He's gonna catch him up
He's
somehow.
gonna do it.
I don't know how it's physically possible for him to do it, but it came down to the Rams fumbling. The Rams kept fumbling. It was Cooper Kupp and Cam Akers. They kept fumbling.
Yeah. I think there's some aura or some sort of luck around Tom Brady.
He's got some.
Every time he goes to the second half, the other team just loses every momentum they had. Like you said, Cam Akers fumbles the ball at the end. Yes, that would be funny. Like Cam Akers fumbles the ball.
Every time you
Cooper
go
Kupp.
halftime, he immediately gets his X factor for the entire second half of the
That would be
game.
overpowered. But like I was saying, Cooper Kupp, one of the most dependable receivers this year, fumbles the football, and then it just looked like the Rams were just going downhill, and you're just like, how in the world is this happening?
What is happening?
And while they're going down, the Bucs are just shooting up, and I'm just thinking to myself, there's no way Tom Brady is going to do this again. Yeah. There's no way. I don't know how.
Honestly, I would have kind of liked to see him do it again.
Yeah, I wanted the Rams.
I'm happy the Rams won because I like the Rams. They're cool.
Yeah.
So Stafford and Kupp, I enjoy watching them. So I'm happy they won, and I think Stafford and Kupp really pulled off a miracle there. But I just think it would have been cool to see Brady do it again. It was like, how does he keep doing this?
That's ridiculous.
If Brady won that game, we would have been talking about it for another 10 years.
Oh yeah, that would have been another thing that's in his legacy.
But the thing is, he lost it, so we're gonna forget about it in 2.
2 or 3. It was still a
you know what I mean?
game.
Like if he wins that game, people are talking about it for another 10 years.
Yeah. But
no, you're right.
Yeah, we can't skip past this game without talking about the second to final play of the game. Was that just massive heave of a ball to Cooper Kupp? The Bucs basically ran cover 0, blitzed a bunch of people, and
they blitzed the guy on Cooper Kupp.
Yeah,
Kupp was in the slot, they blitzed him. So
Bruce Arians said that he called an all-out blitz. He said everybody's blitzing. And he said not everybody, I guess, listened to the call or something. And so, like you said, the guy blitzed on Cooper Kupp, and then the safety was there, and Stafford had 5 dudes in his face, just chucked it up there,
the thing is,
right into Cooper Kupp.
No,
I don't agree with calling that either. I think that was a bad call.
Yeah.
It was a bad call. But also, the funny thing about that route is that, schematically, that play is basically to draw the safety off so that the route comes under and then there's no safety in the middle of the field so that route gets open. So, in theory, he's never even supposed to get that ball.
Yeah, they were calling that it's the route, like the love of the game route.
Yeah,
where you
just run the game route.
You just run because you're not going to get the ball.
Yep.
You're running
off the safety.
You're running off the safety to get somebody else open. But then Stafford's like, I'm just going to chuck it up to him and see what happens.
He had the safety beat.
F it, Cooper Kupp's down there.
His face just heaves it downfield, and he got the ball.
I think that plays like a perfect statement to how Cooper Kupp's played this entire season. He's had a phenomenal season, and he comes up clutch in the game to beat the defending Super Bowl championship.
Yeah, that really
just puts a ribbon over.
It does. It really does.
And then he'll put another ribbon over there if they go to the Super Bowl and he has a good performance.
Yeah. I think this one here was really. I mean, that was a special play.
That game 100%. Reminded me though. So last podcast I was on, we said Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers are like the best duo in the league, and right behind that is Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. But we completely forgot about Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp. I think they might be better than both duos.
True.
I mean, because really,
I don't think they're better than Adams and Rodgers, but I could see than Burrow and Chase.
I think they're better. At least they're better than Burrow and Chase.
Their connection is crazy.
I mean, it's like Stafford can heave it to him whenever, and he is going to catch that.
He threw that one off his back foot with like four dudes in his face, and it was just perfect right here, and he just got it.
Either way, those are the top three duos.
Oh,
correct, yeah. We completely forgot about those two. I just got reminded of that.
Yeah, I know.
But no, that was a crazy game. I mean, I genuinely thought Brady was going to do it again. I was like,
he was going to do it.
I was like, you can't get rid of this guy.
We were sitting there watching the game, and my dad's like, Tom Brady's going to win this game.
I know.
The Bucs are going to win this game.
I went to my dad. I was like, there's no way Tom Brady does this again, right? He's like, I don't know. Like, I literally can't say it.
We were sitting there watching the game, and my dad was there, and he was like, the Bucs are going to win this game.
Yeah.
He's like, Tom Brady's going to do it again.
I was live streaming.
I was like, you know what? I think the Bucs are going to win this football game.
I was live streaming the game on a plane, and the guy, and it was me, my mom, and a guy, and then we were all talking together, all like live streaming it together, and he's like, Tom Brady's going to do it again. I'm like, I can't tell you no.
You can't.
I can't tell you no. He's done it before.
You can't count him out.
Exactly.
No matter what the situation is, you can't count him out. He's shown that.
Another special thing about Cooper Kupp is he had 183 yards receiving, which I'm pretty sure that's the most for a receiver ever, right?
Yeah, I think
in a single game in the playoffs.
Well, but I also think he's the only receiver to ever reach 2,000 yards.
Yeah, I think you're probably
in a regular season and regular season combined with a postseason, I think he's the only receiver ever to reach 2,000 yards.
Yeah, everyone's gonna put an asterisk on that game because of the 17-game season. But the thing is,
I think since he didn't break the record, it's not that big of an asterisk.
Like in theory, though, he would have done it in the NFC Championship if it was a 16-game season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can't really put an asterisk on that game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But no, it was a heck of a game, and I very much enjoyed watching it.
Great game, yeah.
Now the last and final game was the Bills-Chiefs game, which was probably the most exciting game out of the entire weekend.
Each game top. Well, okay.
It had
each game top.
Yeah.
I think the Titans and Bengals was better than Packers.
Oh yeah, but I'm pretty sure that this game was the most watched NFL game in the last like five years, I think. And before we start, I wanted the Bills to win, obviously. Sadly, that didn't happen. Josh Allen played a perfect game. Nothing else he could have done. 27 for 37, 329 yards, 4 touchdowns. What else can you ask from the man? Gabriel Davis, perfect game as well. 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. Never been done before. Amazing performance by the offense. And the defense couldn't stop Patrick Mahomes. Nobody can. But they're the number one passing defense, so I thought maybe they could slow him down a little bit. It's Patrick Mahomes. There's nothing you can do. I mean, it's like we said with Brady. Sometimes there's just nothing you can do. Mm-hmm. It's Patrick Mahomes. He was phenomenal.
It's a matter of time.
And their offensive play calling was phenomenal. He was running the ball more, and obviously he still was threw for a lot. He threw for 378 with 3 touchdowns. Yeah. But the final 13 seconds, the Bills drive it down the field right before then. Nice score with 13 seconds left. I look at my dad, I'm like, it's over. The Bills freaking did it. They're going to the AFC Championship game. I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think that they were going to do what they did. And so they kicked the ball off, and the rest is history. I mean, the Bills, for some reason, first off, kicked the ball out of bounds instead of kicking it towards the guy to shed a couple seconds off. And then, so Patrick Mahomes has 13 seconds. They play the most prevent defense I think I have ever seen. They basically had their safeties at the 70, and then they
That's 70?
70 yards back. They basically had them 70 yards back, and basically the Chiefs just ran like a screen to Tyreek Hill and got like 30 yards or 20 yards. And then they do the same defense. And you put Travis Kelce up there, and there's one linebacker, and then there's a guy in the middle, and the guy in the middle goes with the other trips receivers, and then there's just like one guy in the safety. And the one guy looks and goes, oh, I have potentially the greatest tight end in the league standing in front of me. Let me just run to the sideline and leave him wide freaking open. He catches the ball, gets them in field goal range, they kick the field goal, and then they go to overtime. Don't even get me started about overtime. I mean, flip of the coin.
I said it in an earlier podcast. They need to change the NFL overtime.
But
yes.
flip of the coin. We all knew whoever got the ball first wins. Chiefs got it. Easily ran down the field. Threw it up to Kelce. Couldn't do anything. I just feel bad for the Bills, man. I mean, Josh Allen could not have played a better game. He played a phenomenal game, and he's going home.
Yeah,
and it's because of the defense. Yeah. And I think that's part of the defensive coordinator's fault and the coach's fault. It's just the situational awareness.
Yeah.
And, like, you can't ask more out of your offense. The offense played spectacular.
Yeah, I don't think either team really deserved to lose that game.
Exactly.
I mean,
no.
Both
teams deserved to win.
Both teams were just so even. I mean,
it was probably one of the best football games like I have seen in a very long time.
I would almost say that was the best.
Yeah,
game
it was.
I've ever seen.
It was
almost.
I would have said it was. I said it was the best. My team would have won, but it was
still a great game.
Still an amazing.
All
game.
I'm saying is that it took the Chiefs 13 seconds to score.
Yeah.
It took the Dallas Cowboys 14 seconds to get one play off.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it came down to special teams. Why? I don't understand why you don't squib the ball. Just squib it to their like up
just
return or something.
And trust that you make the tackle.
Exactly.
And like it wasn't like Tyreek Hill was back there. It was like Pringle.
I know.
He's
still good.
Yeah, but not Tyreek Hill fat. If it was Tyreek Hill, I would kick it out of bounds.
Just do a normal kickoff. There's 13 seconds left. That would take you down to like
that
what?
That would take at least
Even if you squib it, it's gonna dribble a little bit and it's gonna take more time. But also, the best defense in the league can't stop Patrick Mahomes for 13 seconds.
Yeah,
13 seconds.
I don't think that number one defense was always cracked up to be in that game. They just
not that game.
folded
Gave
really.
Up 42 points.
Yeah, I mean,
granted, it's the Chiefs,
but still
42 points for. I mean, they're the best pass defense.
Yeah, they were
the
the number one ranked pass defense coming into the game. And what was even crazier is like Tyrann Mathieu didn't even play. He got hurt in the first play of the game, so the Chiefs were down one of their big guys. Obviously, you could see that hurt because their secondary was just getting torched,
even more than normal.
Yeah. But I think my conclusion from that game was how we were saying earlier, like you can never count Brady out. I think we can never count Mahomes out.
Oh, for sure.
Every time Mahomes has the ball, you have to think in the back of your mind, he can do whatever he wants.
Which is scary for this weekend.
I know.
Well, also, where was Stephon Diggs the whole game?
Yeah, I was going to say, Stephon Diggs really didn't do anything. Like, it was all Gabriel Davis.
He had 3 receptions for 7 yards.
That is what on earth?
Out of your first receiver, that's pitiful.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Did they, double him or something?
I don't know.
I mean, they must have, insanely
They must have,
exactly.
They must have, game planned around him, and then, I'm pretty sure they just, okay, the Bills have to beat us with somebody other than Stephon Diggs.
I mean, it's
and then it ended up being Gabriel Davis.
Yeah, but it's not a bad idea, though. I mean,
no.
What else? I mean, what else do you want a team to do, game plan wise? I mean,
exactly.
We're gonna take away their best player, and if they're gonna beat us, then they're gonna have to beat us with somebody else.
Exactly.
That's the best game plan you can do.
It was a great game plan.
Yeah.
But it ended up, Josh Allen can still make plays and still get his receivers open and almost win a game.
Yeah.
I saw that they said that the Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes is going to be the next Brady and Peyton Manning, where they face off in the AFC Championship every year and just shoot out games.
Those are,
and I think it's legit because I feel like Patrick Mahomes will not be the sense of Brady, but he'll probably win a majority of those matchups. Yes. But I think Josh Allen will win one, and the one he does win, I think he's going to win the Super Bowl when he does win that one.
I think I agree with that, honestly, because I think the Bills and the Chiefs are the best teams in the AFC. I mean the Bengals are up there now, but I mean,
but you also have to throw Joe Burrow in that conversation too. Yeah, I think he has a chance to be one of those quarterbacks too.
Yeah, I don't think you count Burrow out.
No,
you don't really count Burrow out, but I do like the comparison of like Manning and like that's the new playing style of a quarterback, a guy who can scramble, buy time in the pocket, and make plays downfield with a cannon arm.
Yeah.
That's the new style of quarterback.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I think they were more comparing the two of them just because of like the battles they're going to.
Yeah, like they just had legendary battles every time they played.
And I think that's probably what it's going to be like. But like I said, you can't keep Burrow out of that conversation.
That's absolutely.
And Herbert.
Yeah. I mean, the AFC has so many great quarterbacks. There's
so many young quarterbacks. Well, really just those four, but
those are four of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
They're all super young.
You can't count any. I mean, like Mahomes and Burrow could have an insane battle.
Yeah,
Allen and Herbert can have an insane battle. All four of them are really.
Exactly. You can play them against each other, and it's going to be a great game.
Yeah,
I'm so excited for the upcoming years because of just see how those quarterbacks progress and how many legendary battles they're going to have against each other. It's going to be a lot of good games coming up in the next couple of years.
100%. Like you were saying, how Josh Allen is like he's very mobile and he can throw the ball. I think that's one of his biggest traits. Is he's like 6'5", like 230, I think.
Yeah.
And I mean, he had 68 rushing yards. He was doing whatever he wanted against that defense, and then he still can throw for 400 yards almost and 5 touchdowns, and he can get it done on the run. I just we haven't seen a quarterback like that, really, like that. It's just that big and just not afraid to run and can still, when needs to, can sit in the pocket and throw. And the same with Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, like the physical, it's not as but Mahomes is still shifty and Mahomes
has a better arm.
Yeah, but he can still get around. But I think one of the reasons why the Bills lost this game is one of the reasons why I think they've lost most of their games is because of the run game. They don't have a run game. Josh Allen was their leading rusher. You can't have your quarterback if you're not like Baltimore. You can't have your leading quarterback being your running back.
The Chiefs have more of a run game than the Bills.
Exactly.
I'm going back to Josh Allen.
That's really saying something.
Yeah, going back to Josh Allen here for a second. Josh Allen is the quarterback that everybody wanted Cam Newton to be. They're built very similarly, but Josh Allen has the mentality that Cam Newton never had, and that's
Josh
why
Allen also has a better arm.
Better arm.
I mean, he just has better arm talent too.
Correct, but also like he's the quarterback that people were envisioning Cam Newton was going to be because of all his talent
after his MVP
season. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
I think it's still a little bit different,
but also
it is a little bit different. But I get where you're coming.
Yeah, I get what you're saying though.
But also, Singletary is an okay running back.
Yes,
but if the Bills want to win a Super Bowl, they need to move on from Singletary and get a better running back of some sort. You know,
and it's not even just that. They need to the Bills need to commit to running the ball.
Yeah, they need to incorporate that in their offense.
Run the ball. It doesn't even. I mean, Singletary's not bad. I get what you're saying. They could probably use a better one, yes, but it's not even all that.
Yeah,
they need to run the ball.
Yeah, they just don't incorporate the running game into their game plan most of the time.
We're seeing now that the teams that know how to run the ball well and pass the ball well are the ones that are succeeding.
Yeah, for sure. You have to be a balanced team. Yeah, those are the best teams.
Well, it's kind of funny. The 4 teams left. It's kind of funny how it worked out because the Chiefs pass heavy offense. Mm-hmm. You have the other side of the spectrum. You have the Niners run-heavy offense, and then the other two can do both very well.
I know,
which is kind of funny. We're seeing
and look, the Titans are known for being insanely run-heavy. The Bengals are a much more balanced team, and look who won the game.
Exactly, it's the teams that can. It's not just about the pass game, like we kind of saw a couple years ago, like when the Rams and the
Monday
Chiefs,
Night Football game.
Yeah, the Monday Night Football game, where it was just bomb it down the field. Yeah.
I mean, that's fun to watch, and that does work.
I feel like
I just think
that was
most
kind of how this game was for the most part.
I just think the most successful teams are your balanced teams.
Exactly.
Yeah. What was also crazy wasn't it like was it like 2 minutes? There was like 25 points scored, I think, in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, there was like 20 some odd points.
Yeah.
I can confidently say that's
ridiculous.
the best football game I've ever watched.
I would say so,
I would
too.
agree with you.
I think the only game that would rival it would be, I always say, the Falcons-Patriots Super Bowl.
just because it was a massive comeback.
Great game.
I'm talking about two teams duking it out.
Yeah. That was at the level of that Monday Night Football game where it
Also,
was just
Monday Night Football
games
electric
the
football.
Chiefs and Rams,
Yeah.
Like those two games are the best games I've ever seen.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it was honestly, it was a perfect way to end a perfect weekend of football. I couldn't ask for much more
Great
out of the divisional round. And I'm hoping that this AFC Championship round or Championship round is better, or is not better, but is at the same level. But I couldn't ask for anything more as a fan, honestly. I was glued to my TV watching every single game, no matter who was playing, no matter if I liked the team or not.
A great game,
Yeah, I'm going to quote my dad here by saying, he said that now the Super Bowl is going to be boring because we're now used to all these great games.
People were
So
saying
now
that this game was
like
like the AFC Championship.
Exactly. It's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be as entertaining as these games.
Yeah.
So we're all going to be disappointed. Like, oh, this is a bust, but it's actually going to be a decent football
really
game.
Yeah.
But it's not going to compare to this weekend. I don't think any weekend of football could have been better than this one.
It was an amazing week of football.
It was.
And one of the biggest headlines that came out of this week was Aaron Rodgers' obviously pitiful performance in the matchup against the Niners. And like we were talking about earlier, can't get over the hump, all that stuff. And before the season, there were obviously rumors that he's not happy in Green Bay and wants to trade. And then towards the season, they were having success, and he came out and was like, I'm having fun this year, and I actually enjoy playing for Green Bay. And now those rumors have swirled up again, and there's reports that he's potentially going to leave to possibly the Broncos. I've heard the Colts. Some people have said the Steelers. And then there's others that are saying no, his best situation is on Green Bay. And I just want to get your guys' thoughts on what do you think Green Bay or what do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to do, and what do you think he should do?
I think he's going to leave. I think he should leave. I mean, I understand he's freaking 39 years old. He doesn't want to be a part of a rebuild.
Yeah,
I mean, a bunch of their good players are leaving.
Exactly.
I mean,
they
lost their was it their offensive coordinator that just got hired?
Yeah,
Denver.
Nathaniel Hackett, and he got
I
hired at Denver.
I don't think there's a better opportunity for him than the Denver Broncos because they have a very good defense. They also have a good set of young receivers like Jerry Jeudy, and they have Melvin Gordon in the backfield. So it's still like it's a pretty good offense he's going into. The reason that the Broncos didn't succeed this year is because Bridgewater was very inconsistent, and then he got injured.
Quarterback,
and then you had Drew Lock, who would just he played terrible.
I think that the Broncos is a perfect situation for Aaron Rodgers, like both of you guys are saying. Like you said, they have three amazing receivers: Tim Patrick, Cortland Sutton, and
now if I was the Broncos,
JJ.
If I was the Broncos,
yeah,
Rodgers and Adams are both up for free agency. I am going to get rid of one of those three guys and bring in Adams.
No, I saw
with Rodgers.
I saw somebody said
for cap
like
space,
2 or 3 firsts and Jerry Jeudy to the Packers for Aaron Rodgers, and then you sign.
I'm going to be getting rid of Tim Patrick and bringing in Devontae Adams.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I would be doing everything I can to get both of them.
Oh, 100%.
Right.
If you get both of them,
I mean, at least one of them. Like out of the two, you got to get Rodgers.
But
they already have a good receiving core. But if you can get both, that connection, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they get both, they're Super Bowl favorites.
Get both at any cost.
Yeah, no,
that's what every team in the league, almost every team in the league that doesn't have a good quarterback receiver do.
Yes, but I think the Broncos actually stand a chance at doing that.
Yeah. But no, I think
he doesn't want to play for any of these other teams. I could see him wanting to play for the Broncos.
Yeah, but I think even if they don't get Devontae Adams and they do get Aaron Rodgers, I mean, he has, like we said, three great receivers, stud tight end Noah Fant. Their running backs are Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams, both stud running backs. Their offensive line is very good. Their defensive line is solid with Bradley Chubb, and they have a couple other guys. Their secondary with Pat Surtain, and then they have Justin Simmons at free safety. I think they're in perfect position. But one thing I have seen, like we were talking about earlier, the AFC is now like so stacked that everyone was saying, well, if he goes to the Broncos, he's in a division with Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, and Derek Carr. That's 2 really good quarterbacks, and then Derek Carr's a solid quarterback. Sorry, John. But
Derek Carr is also one of the most inconsistent.
Yeah.
But he's also playing for the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah.
I mean, like I feel like he would be a franchise quarterback in a lot of other teams. Like he could, like the Bears would. A lot of teams could win with Derek Carr.
Yeah, no, you can win
But
with it.
the thing is, it's the Raiders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, with him going into like sack division, he's obviously he's kind of just ran through the NFC because the Packers have been the best regular season team. So now he's gonna have to play a little bit harder to get to that number 1 seed. But I think even if he doesn't get to that number 1 seed, I still think they're surefire to make the playoffs, and I still think they can win multiple games.
I think it would be pretty interesting to see him go there.
and
I wouldn't mind seeing him.
Well, another good option for him
too.
is the Colts because they have a very good defense, a pretty good defense. They also have a very good running back, and they also have Quentin Nelson at guard.
He's a heck of a player.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd rather see the Broncos, but
I'd rather see the Broncos. But if he goes
Broncos
to the Colts,
is a better fit, but still, you can't always.
The Colts
get what
wouldn't
you
be
want.
bad.
I mean,
But
him
also-
with
but
Jonathan
also-
Taylor and like Michael Pittman in that offense or that defense would be really nice to see.
And also, Carson Wentz is not the guy
no, absolutely,
at all.
absolutely
Like,
not.
yeah.
I mean, now granted, they are like getting a perk because the Eagles are literally paying them to have Carson Wentz on
Well,
their
actually,
roster.
they lost a first-round pick because they started Carson Wentz, so they kind of screwed themselves with that. But Carson Wentz isn't the guy, and I think if Rodgers, honestly, whoever Rodgers goes to, they're going to be contenders because he's just that good of a quarterback.
Yeah.
But if you can somehow manage to get him and Devontae Adams, the sky's the limit for him.
Yeah,
Honestly.
I think the Broncos would be the best bet, though.
Yeah, I would want him to go to the Broncos personally, and I've said that a couple times.
I think they have crappy uniforms, but besides that,
The Broncos?
Yeah, they need to
I'm
do
not
a
a big
little
fan.
bit. They need to do a little bit of a rebrand.
they need
but
new uniforms. But
speaking of
besides
rebrand,
that,
Washington football team, February 2nd.
oh yeah, there you go. That's that's pretty soon.
They'll rebrand in about 5 or 6 days.
Oh yeah,
I think they should
I'm
just stay
excited
with
for
the football
that.
team.
screw you, John.
They need to change it.
They do
They
need
need
to-
that.
I
Needs
mean,
to
okay.
be changed.
It's to the point where why couldn't you have just picked a name out of a hat?
Yeah, honestly,
I mean, it is that.
It's
bad.
taken like 3
It's
years
that
to
bad.
find
Well,
a
I
name.
don't.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm pretty sure a guy did like copyright a bunch of teams because they wanted them to stay as the Redskins.
Yeah, no, you have to go through all this like copyright and all this
Right.
stuff, which is difficult.
But also,
still should
like
take a little bit
in
quicker.
theory, you could all like. I
know.
mean, you could literally pay the
Or has it
decent.
been 2? Either way,
You could pay like
close enough.
you could pay a team like the Washington Bullets for their name or something like that. Or like you could pay somebody for a name if you really wanted to.
yes,
You know what I mean? Like even the DC Defenders or something like that.
Yeah.
Like the XFL team, you could just literally pay them for their name, and that's an easy fix.
yeah.
Well, they finally figured out, and
They
we'll,
figured it
we'll
out,
see
so,
in a couple
yeah,
days.
We'll see what it is.
So what do you guys think it's going to be?
I've heard the Armada.
Come
That's
on.
what I've heard.
I don't really care. I'll see though.
I think
It was either that or maybe the Admirals. One of those.
I thought the Admirals was an old team in Washington.
It might have been.
Washington Admirals.
Yeah, they have multiple names, and they showed their. I saw a clip. They showed their jerseys to the players, and they really liked them, which obviously they would because they play for them. But
They might not. I mean, if I played for the Broncos, I wouldn't like my uniform.
they don't have egregious uniforms.
They
There's
aren't
some.
awful.
Their
They are
orange ones are
great.
pretty
No,
sweet.
I'll tell you whose uniforms suck. The Cardinals.
Yeah.
Their uniforms are putrid.
Okay,
You
but
hate the
the thing is,
They're
uniforms.
awful. I love the Cardinals. I love
you
Kyler
hate
Murray.
the
Their
uniforms.
uniforms are balls.
they're
so
awful.
bad.
They are terrible, but also, like, in theory, you could make a lot of money off of selling a Washington football team jersey in like 20 years.
Exactly.
So
No, you're right.
I'm thinking about getting a Chase jersey just because it says the
Chase
Washington
Young, yeah.
Chase
No,
Young.
you said it right.
Chase Young.
My head just instantly went to Jamar Chase because I've heard that so much.
Yeah. But I'm going
Can't forget about Chase Young.
I might get a Chase Young jersey just to sell it in 20 years.
Go for it, but you better do it now though, because it's going to be a couple days.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's 5 days. So you
something
gotta get on that.
Yeah, it's like January 2nd or February
something
2nd.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess while we're on the topic of jerseys, what do you think is like the cleanest, like best jersey in the NFL?
It's really tough. There's some pretty cool ones. I really like the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the Falcons' new ones.
Oh yeah.
I mean, honestly, the Bengals.
Yeah.
Bengals
I thought you were
are
just going to
clean.
instantly say Bengals.
The Bengals white ones.
The Bengals have clean.
All of them.
Yeah,
All
Bengals
their
have
new
clean.
ones are probably. I am for sure putting the Bengals uniforms in the top.
I would say the Bengals have the best combination of jerseys, but like the best singular jersey, I'd say probably the Rams. I just think
The Rams
there's
blue?
the clean.
Yeah,
The Rams
I
blue?
think my
those
top
just look
five
clean.
my top 5 uniforms in the league would be the Rams, not in this specific order.
Yeah.
I would say Rams, Bengals. I really like the.
Falcons.
I like the Falcons. I really like the.
Seahawks?
Seahawks used to have good jerseys. They kind of fell apart.
fell off though.
They're all green ones. Are so sweet.
I would say those 3, and then I would say I really like the Chiefs just because they're such a classy football
theirs is
uniform.
clean.
They're just super classic. So I like
theirs are
those,
clean.
and then I would say like I don't know, like Packers, Browns, maybe Bucks. You know,
Yeah.
But also, the Raiders need
Oh, my
a
Lord.
different. They haven't changed their jersey
I
in their entire.
I thought you were gonna say they were good.
No, I'm saying
their colorways literally white, gray, and black. There's
Like,
not much you can do with
Pretty
that.
rough.
Yeah, no, you might be able to do something cool. Like
They're a classic team. They
Okay.
don't need to change their uniforms.
well, they're a classic team, but they need to have add a stripe for goodness sake. Change it up because I could have bought a Derek Carr jersey his rookie year, and it's gonna look the same as when he retires.
I will say their all black jerseys are pretty cool.
The all black with the white lettering, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it's like,
all right.
but it's like a high school team could design a better jersey than that.
No, I think like the 3 that immediately pop in my mind are the Rams, Bengals, and I can't remember.
Falcons.
Oh no, the Chargers, dude. The Chargers.
The Chargers?
I would put the Chargers over the Falcons.
The Jets. The Jets green
Jets are
ones.
solid.
The
Yeah,
Jets
solid.
green
Jets
ones.
all green ones.
I think they're underrated.
I like the Dolphins ones. I think
I like the Dolphins.
I like
Okay,
the
Dol-
I like
Dude,
like
some
the
people
turquoise
hate,
and then
like,
the
the teal
all
and
orange.
okay,
the all orange is
Okay.
not a big fan of, but I like the Dolphins.
I kinda
think,
like
teal
the
and
all-
white.
I
The
kinda
all
like the all
orange.
orange.
They make the all orange look good.
They do.
And then I also like the Panthers. I just like that blue on the Panthers.
like the powder blue or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
when they
I
were
just-
when
I just
their
think, like-
color rushes a couple years with that all
Yeah.
powder blue. Those
yeah,
are sweet.
those are sweet. I just think the ones that immediately come to mind are Rams, Bengals, Chargers, and then like
I would agree with you on those. That would
Like-
probably be mine.
Chiefs, Browns.
But-
I like the Browns new ones.
But honestly, though, like,
Except their throwbacks are terrible.
Well, their throwbacks aren't
They
great.
literally have like stickers for numbers.
Yeah,
well,
It's so funny.
yeah.
they're so bad. But it's funny because all the teams like we're saying are the teams that have changed their jerseys in the last like 5 years.
Yeah.
Because
I love when teams rebrand.
I love watching teams get new uniforms. I
Well-
think the Cardinals have to. They have to.
well, I love kind of going back to the Bengals. I love like they changed the culture in Cincinnati,
And got
and
new
they
uniforms.
got new uniforms and changed the culture.
It's
They don't even look
success.
like the
Yeah.
same team, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, getting back on topic now. So obviously I'm pretty sure we all agree that we would love to see Aaron Rodgers on the Broncos, and if they can get Devontae Adams, that would be brilliant. But another big headline with another great quarterback is Tom Brady. Obviously, he just lost against the Rams in heartbreaking fashion. Almost had that comeback like we were talking about. And he came before the game. There were some questions that he had said some cryptic things about him potentially thinking about retirement. And then after the game, that same question was asked, and he said, "I'm gonna have to take some time away, talk to my family, and see what my next step is." And we've never really. I mean, Brady's hinted at retirement, but I feel like this is the first time that he's generally thought I might be done playing.
Yeah.
And do you think he's going to retire, or do you think he's going to go
he'll
back
play.
for another year?
I think he'll play another year because the way he went out, I feel like he's gonna feel like I was so close,
Yeah.
and that's gonna run through his head, and that's gonna drive him into next season because he's not the type of guy to go out on a loss. It's
I
his
think he'll come
mentality.
back again.
His mentality is just like it's a winner's mentality. Is like, I don't want to be remembered as my last game being a loser. I think
agree.
I think he wins. I think he's gonna play until he wins one more. Or he's gonna play until he either can't or he wins one more.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree with that.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean,
I think he comes back next year. Though.
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't retire, dude, because we're witnessing greatness right now.
Yeah,
I haven't been alive. Like Tom Brady's played in the NFL longer than I've been living. So I've never been alive without Tom Brady playing in the NFL. It's just it'd be weird to see him not.
yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's inevitably going to happen.
But I'd like it to not happen right now.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I want to witness him play as long as I possibly can. You know?
I think he
I
comes
want to watch
back.
more greatness.
Yeah.
I think he comes back for another year. But I would not be shocked if he leaves because he's talking to his family, and family honestly is the biggest swing in something like this. So if his wife and his kids are like, "We want you at home more," he's gonna hang them up and say, "I got to do this."
Yeah, I know.
And there's really nothing you can do. And like you said, him going on in a loss, I mean, he has nothing else to prove. He's won 7 rings. He's the greatest quarterback of all time. He's really just playing just to play at this point, you know, just because he loves the game. He has nothing else to prove. So I think him going on a loss isn't like that big of a deal.
I'm just hoping he comes back. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think he will come
The
back.
Bucks
for
are
maybe
hoping he
one more
comes
year.
back. If he doesn't come back, the Bucks are screwed.
They're going to be
They're
average.
just,
They're going to be average at best, just like they were before he came.
if they lose, Gronk's leaving too. Because there's no way Gronk's going to play without Brady.
Yeah, Gronk will leave too, and then after who are they going to have at quarterback? That's a big question.
Who's their backup? I don't even know.
Exactly.
It's
It's a backup who probably isn't that good, and then this draft class coming up, there's no good quarterbacks in this draft class.
If you're the Bucks, do you think of potentially drafting a quarterback?
You don't. I could see.
I don't know.
I could see the Bucks pursuing.
You can get
Aaron Rodgers,
like a project quarterback.
I could see the Bucks pursuing Aaron Rodgers in free agency.
I did hear that. I
You
saw
know
somebody.
what? I think it would be cool if maybe if Tom Brady does actually go out, which I'm hoping he doesn't. I don't know if he will, but if he does, the Bucks should just absolutely suck this year, and then they can draft Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud.
So
Then they're back in business.
I did see that.
Just suck for 1 year.
Just tank.
I did see that report. Somebody tweeted, they're like, "Wouldn't it be funny if Brady retires and then Rodgers goes to the Bucks and they're at the same spot where they were before?"
I don't think that'll happen.
No, I don't think that'll happen.
But Aaron Rodgers will choke again.
Yeah, but no, I don't know what's gonna happen. I hope Brady doesn't leave because, like you said, we're witnessing greatness. But then there's also a little part of me that is like, every time I watch him, I want, obviously he's such a good quarterback, but I'm like, dude, how do you keep doing this?
I root for him every time I watch him.
I do too.
I like Tom Brady.
I used to growing up. I used to despise the man.
Yeah, I didn't used to be a fan of him.
I used to hate him.
Now
I'm like, why does
now we're just witnessing.
I understand
greatness.
that this guy is
the more
amazing.
The more I understand about football, the more I am shocked about how actually good Tom Brady is, and how great of a player he is.
Yeah, same. I don't want him to retire. I like Tom Brady. I will root for him every time he plays.
Except against the Bengals.
Well, unless it's against a team I like.
Yeah.
But
I just want him to perform at max capacity because I love seeing him work.
Yeah,
he is an artist on the football field.
He really is.
If he leaves now, he probably is going to win MVP this year. So he's still playing great. Yeah. But I've been watching.
He had probably the best statistical season.
I think it was the best of his career.
I could see him if he wins the MVP. I could see him going out.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
I hope he comes
back.
But
I really hope he comes back just for the jealous. Just because I don't want to see him go.
Yeah. But I've been watching that Man in the Arena documentary about him, and it's grown my just the level of respect that I have for him, and how he's came in and won the starting job and ran with it and hasn't looked back, and how just phenomenal that him and those Patriots teams were, and how great he still is at what is he, 45 now? 44.
And people don't.
It's genuinely ridiculous. I don't know how.
And people don't realize how
playing
good
against
Drew
time.
and people don't realize how good Bledsoe was.
Yeah, he was a top quarterback.
He was a top quarterback.
I feel bad.
He
for
goes
Drew
out. Yeah. His career got overshadowed by Brady.
Yeah,
but
then he
the
went
thing
to
is,
the Bills, and you know what happened when you go to the Bills. He sucked.
but like the thing about Bledsoe is that he was a top quarterback. Like that's like somebody coming in for like Patrick Mahomes' backup, pretty much taking his Mahomes gets injured and takes his spot.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, because nobody thought this.
And
What was he? Was he
Sixth round.
This
sixth
sixth
round
round
pick
pick from Michigan was
who,
going to ever do it.
barely started at Michigan. You know what I mean?
And he defied all odds and is now the greatest quarterback of all time.
That's why I love watching him play.
Yeah,
The more I learn about Brady, I used to despise him because of how much he won, but then I realized how crazy he is.
yeah. There's nothing you can do except respect him for what he's done.
Oh, 100%.
I like him.
Like you said, we're literally watching greatness before our eyes,
yeah,
and
we are.
when he retires, I mean that'll be the end of it.
Best,
I
probably
don't-
the best football player ever.
Oh yeah,
I mean-
I mean,
Not
the guy,
physically, but mentally.
The guy has
And
the guy has the
accolade-wise.
accolades and the stats pretty much to back all of that up.
Yeah.
So plus his longevity has also been really impressive.
Yeah.
He is the craziest guy I've ever seen on a football field.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with him, and I
Hope
guess
he comes back.
I guess
That's really
we'll
all I can
see
say.
what happens. Yeah. So our last segment today, before we wrap everything up, will be our NFL Championship Weekend predictions. And if you guys tuned in to the last episode, we did our divisional picks, and we did not do so hot. John was our leader with
50%, baby.
2-2.
Let's go.
Weave was second with 1-3, and I was 0-4. I had a terrible week, but like I said, I have never been more happy to be wrong because the Bengals won. So we're hoping that this week we can bounce back and have a better week. And there's only 2 games, so they'll be a little bit more lopsided. But
I just want to say this. The only reason you got one game right is because you are a Bengals fan.
Yeah.
That is the only reason. You got one game right.
Hey, man, I might have still picked him if I wasn't.
yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
It was a reasonable pick either way.
Yeah,
No,
that's
it
true.
was. But yeah. So we did not do good
I
last
just love
week,
heckling you.
and this week we're going to attempt to redeem ourselves. So
I'm going to go 100%. I'm telling you.
all right, let's see if that happens.
Go ahead, then.
We'll start
All right.
with
All right.
We'll start with you. 49ers Rams. Who's going to win and why?
The 49ers will beat the Rams because of their defense. And I genuinely think, now obviously Stafford and Kupp are the best wide receiver duo in the league. But I think that the Niners, just their special teams and their defense beat the Packers. And they kind of have something about them. I don't know. I think they can beat the Rams, and also they beat the Rams twice this year. They've swept them this year, so I think that just looking at what they've done this year, I think they're gonna do it.
All right, you next.
Well, what I would like to see would be the 49ers, but I'm going to pick the Rams because I just think the Rams have a very overpowered offense, and honestly, I think the only reason that the 49ers are here is because of their defense, and I think I just think the Rams offense are going to be able to get it done. I'd like to see the 49ers though.
Yeah. I am going to go with Weave and select the Rams. I think they're going to win. Kind of like what you said. I think that the Rams defense is going to obviously slow down Garoppolo because he hasn't done anything. Obviously, Debo will still be a problem. He'll always be a problem.
And Kittle.
Yeah. But I think that they have enough to slow him down. And I honestly think, obviously, the 49ers defense has been really good. But I think that the Rams are going to figure out a way to get it done. And they'll be going to the Super Bowl.
Although I will say, though, that I could very easily be swayed to pick the Niners because the Niners have literally swept the Rams this year.
Oh yeah,
The Rams have not had an answer for
here's-
them.
And the thing is, they look at the playoffs. Who have the Rams played so far? They've played 2 teams with good defenses. They played the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys have a pretty good defense, and you have the Packers, who also have a pretty good defense. So I don't think that the Rams having a good defense is really going to affect the Niners because the Niners don't put any points up anyway.
Yeah.
They're just kicking field goals and getting.
And honestly, I mean, I almost could pick the Niners because, I mean, I feel like with the Niners, I mean, they've swept them. It's business as usual for them.
Exactly.
But the Rams, like, they're like, crap, dude. Like, we have to win this game. Like, I mean, like, we lost to them twice. Like, what else do we need to do? You know. But the Niners, it's just like, all right,
Shanahan
we beat these guys twice.
Shanahan has beat McVay every time they've met in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I think it's hard to beat a team
change 3 times in this season.
I think it is too.
Like statistically speaking, like
it's hard to beat. Okay, I understand. It's hard to beat a team twice in one season.
But I honestly wouldn't be surprised.
I would not be surprised at all.
But I'm going to go with the Rams still.
Yeah, I understand.
It's going to be another one of those. Honestly, really close games. I think it could go either way.
I think it's going to be a fun game.
I think that's how it's going to be for the rest of these playoffs. It literally can go any way. I think any of these 4 teams can win it.
It's a toss-up, yeah.
And so, obviously, the second game is the Chiefs and the Bengals. We'll start with you on this one. Who's winning and why?
All right, well, I'm going to pick the Bengals.
No surprise there.
Hey, no, it's legit, dude. I mean, okay, look at it on paper, yes, the Bengals have no reason to win this game on paper.
Yeah.
But they didn't the first time either. And Joe Burrow is a very legitimate factor. I mean, Joe Burrow is a great quarterback. He's legit. I think he can get it done. Joe Burrow is 3-0 against teams that he has played twice this year. He has swept the Steelers, he has swept the Ravens, and he has beat the Raiders twice. He is 3-0 against teams he's played twice.
Who is?
Joe Burrow. He's 3-0 against teams he's played twice this year. And I think that he has played. I think he has been there before. He's won games like this before. He has absolutely dominated the college football playoffs. He's ran through the SEC, won the SEC, which Alabama, Ole Miss, Georgia. You got teams like that. He's ran right through them. So Joe Burrow's done this before. He's played at this level. He knows what it takes. And he's played the past couple weeks. He's played off the charts. The past couple weeks, he's been a top 5 quarterback. The past couple weeks in the NFL, I think he's going to get it done. I mean, I literally don't have any other reason besides the fact that I think there's a good chance this game is going to be an offensive shootout, and I think it's going to come down to whichever defense is going to step up and play better. And I think the Bengals have a better defense than the Chiefs. So I think the Bengals defense is going to step up in a shootout, and Joe Burrow, I think he's going to get it done.
John?
The Bengals are going to play the 49ers in the Super Bowl, just like the 80s.
Yes, sir.
But the reason is because, obviously, of Joe Burrow, but also I think that their defense is going to step up, like you said.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the Chiefs lost Tyrann Mathieu.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, he goes maybe. Okay. But
either way,
their pass defense isn't that good.
The Bengals just beat them like 3 weeks ago.
Exactly. So
with a fully healthy, besides Clyde Edwards-Helaire, a fully healthy Chiefs team. They just beat them.
Well, Helaire doesn't do that much anyway. But
he's the running back. I mean, they don't run the ball.
Right. But also, it's literally just about who is. I think it's going to come down to who has the ball last in the game. Kind of like what happened.
What defense is going to step up and make a stop.
Yeah.
And I am putting more faith in the Bengals defense to do that than the Chiefs defense.
Correct.
The Chiefs got lit up against the Bills. Absolutely lit up. And the Bengals are more balanced than the Bills.
And also,
honestly, they probably have more weapons than the Bills.
And Arrowhead is not going to be a factor for Joe Burrow like it would be for other quarterbacks because he played in the SEC.
Like I said, he's been there before.
No, what I'm saying is those are the loudest stadiums and hold just as much, if not more.
They hold more.
Yeah, they hold more than Arrowhead. So therefore, noise is not going to be a factor for him. He's going to be Joe Cool like he always is, hit receivers downfield, and it's just a matter of can the Bengals' offensive line hold up, just give Burrow just enough time to get the ball out of his hands.
That's more it's the concern, I think, is their offensive line.
Correct.
Yeah.
But it's a matter of who's going to win in the trenches, which defensive line is going to step up more.
And I think the Bengals have a better D-line than the Chiefs.
Correct.
I do.
But also the Bengals have a worse offensive line.
Yes, but I'm just saying, defense all around, I think I'm betting on the Bengals defense to step up in tight situations more than the Chiefs. Their defense has been absolutely lights out the past 2 weeks. They have literally had, week 1 in the playoffs, game-winning pick. Week 2, basically game-winning pick. Yeah. Their defense has played lights out. I'm not expecting anything.
And also, you just run short routes with the Bengals receivers, and they can make plays. You get the ball to Jamar on a slant route. He does a spin move against the Ravens and takes it 70 yards.
Against the Chiefs, you hit him on an out. He takes it
exactly
however many yards that was.
I forget. Screenplay. Freaking, gone.
I think the Bengals have a better assortment of weapons than the Bills do, in all honesty. I don't know.
Chiefs. You said Bills.
No, I know. I'm saying the Bills. I was saying the Bills absolutely lit up the Chiefs' defense. And I'm saying I think the Bengals have a better assortment of weapons. I don't know if that's outlandish or not, but I think it.
No, it's not.
All the Bills had was Stephon Diggs and Dawson Knox. And
Gabriel Davis.
And Gabriel. Okay, but
we know the Bengals weapons.
Before this week, who was Gabriel Davis?
Exactly. He was the Bengals. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Joe Mixon,
Uzama.
That's better than the Bills.
Yeah.
All right. So every time we've done these predictions, I've picked against the Bengals, and they proved me wrong. So in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, do I pick against them again and let them prove me wrong again? Also, I don't. I think it's hard to beat the Chiefs twice, but I didn't know that stat that Joe Burrow is 3-0 this year against teams that he's played twice.
Yep.
So because of that, and because of what all you guys are saying, I'm going to sway to the Bengals.
Heck yeah, man.
Bengals, if you lose, I'm sorry. It's my fault. Okay, I'm sorry. I picked for you. Don't make me wrong.
Don't let you down.
Yeah, don't let me.
You might want to pick the other teams because all your teams lost last week, so you might as well pick.
I know. I got to redeem myself. But I think that, like you guys said, pretty much sums everything up. Their defense has been playing phenomenal. Obviously, the Chiefs are going to give them problems, but they've shown that they can handle them. I think it's going to be a heck of a game. I think Joe Burrow is ready for this. Also, you were talking about Arrowhead and the crowd noise. Zach Taylor, every practice this week, has blared crowd noise into the stadium to get them ready for Arrowhead. Yeah. So that shouldn't be a problem for them. And I just think, like you guys said, it's going to be an offensive shootout. The Bengals' weapons are top tier. The Chiefs' weapons are top tier. The Bengals' defense has played better than the Chiefs' defense has recently, but the Chiefs' pass rushing does scare me a little bit. But I think the Bengals are going to go to the Super Bowl. I never thought I'd say those words, but I think that the Bengals are going to go to the Super Bowl.
The day has finally come when we can reasonably say these words, and people won't be like,
now, please.
People will think that you're on some illegal substance.
Yes.
Now, I pray that the Bengals do not just make a fool of themselves and just get blown out.
And make a fool of you.
I hope if they lose, it's a good game. But I hope that they win, and I'm going to pick them to win, and do not let me be wrong.
There we go.
The spread on the game is 7.5 points. That means the Chiefs have to win by 8 points for you to win your money on the Chiefs. So I think that the Bengals can, if they lose, are going to lose by less than 8. So there you go if you're a gambler. But do not do it illegally. There you go.
Wise words from John. All right, just to reiterate, you have the Rams and the Bengals going to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. You have the Niners and Bengals going to the Super Bowl. And I have the Rams and the Bengals going to the Super Bowl.
I'm wanting that.
Yeah,
you're both wrong.
We're not going to do the Super Bowl picks today. We'll do that in the next.
I already made my Super Bowl pick.
Yeah, but we'll do that in the next football episode. So stay tuned for that. And I think that's all we got today.
Yes, sir. All right.
If you guys enjoyed, please share this with your friends. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And hope you guys have a great rest of your day.